I have a question after hearing yesterday's sharing on meditation. I still experience wandering thoughts, example, to-do lists during meditation. Can I pause to write them down so I can remember to attend to them after the meditation practice? Otherwise, it may linger around and disturb the practice. Sorry, got to go. We'll catch up lesson via YouTube. Oh. So, so this method, uh, I've um, I've tried before actually. Yeah. Anything just right now. In a Buddha's time, there's no such a technique because they don't write things down. Yeah. Uh, Writing wasn't, um, from what I heard, in the Buddha's time, there was some engraving. Yeah. There were probably some rudimentary kind of scribing, but not writing as we know it today. Yeah. But the point is, today we can write. So does it help? One way is we take note of it mentally. Yeah. Another way is to write it down. Uh, why don't you all try? Write down and see what happens. Yeah. Maybe it can help you to be assured that you have it down already. But be careful. You may further elaborate on what you have written down. Then when you sit, instead of just the to-do list, then you further think about what to do with the to-do list. Yeah. Uh, it's in the Chinese text we translate as 巡视. Yeah, 巡视. I think in the Pali term is vitaka or uh, rumination. Rumination. We think about things. Yeah. What are things we think about? We think about things we desire for. We think about things that we have aversion towards. Yeah. 欲寻思, 会寻思. And then if it goes a bit out of control, we may even have uh, rumination about harming others. Yeah. 害寻思. We may also ruminate about our country. Yeah. 国土寻思. But when we are in our country, we usually don't. Yeah, if you're not in your country, then you think about the country. Yeah. 清理寻思. We ruminate over our relations, our family, our friends, our loved ones. Anything that preoccupies us, anything that is important to us, we tend to think about. So I mentioned in other classes before, in other meditation classes before, one way that sometimes we may hear is to tell ourselves this is not important. Oh, have you all heard of this method before? Yeah. Sometimes people tell you, I don't think so much. No, it's not important. You all can try also. Yeah. Try telling yourself it's not important. Chances are you will find that it sometimes works, but oftentimes doesn't work. Yeah. If just telling yourself that it's not important, then makes it not important to you, then we should attain enlightenment very quickly. Yeah. Then you should just tell yourself, I'm enlightened every day, I'm enlightened. Yeah. Then after one sitting, all enlightened. The trouble is we are whatever preoccupies us is important to us. Yeah. So just telling ourselves it's not important, I don't think it works. One way is you can try reflecting on the importance of it. Yeah. You may wonder, shouldn't we be reflecting on the non-importance of it? You can try doing that also. Uh, if you were to reflect on its importance, then you truly know how important it is. Yeah. Then you may find that while it's important, maybe it's not so important that it has to interrupt your meditation. Maybe it's important, but maybe you don't have to deal with it now. Maybe it's important, but you can't deal with it anyway. So there are 2 or 3 questions I often ask people to contemplate if something keep on coming up in their mind, whether you're meditating or in your day-to-day life. Is that thing important? Should be important, otherwise it will come up. If after thinking about it, you find that actually it's not important, then okay, that's not important. Then you shouldn't think about it. But if it's important, then you ask yourself, is it something that needs attention immediately? Like now, must solve. Let me give you an example. Let's say what is one thing that now need attention? Can you think of one thing? My sister laughed because she knows what I'm going to say. You need to go and shit. Yeah, or you need to go and pee, and that's a now kind of a problem, not a now later problem. Yeah. What is a now later kind of problem? A now later kind of problem is, say for example, your your child's grades. Yeah, your child's grades is going down. Okay, but so is it important? It's important. Yeah. Uh, is it something you can do now? Like now? It's not something that you can do now, that you have to do now anyway. It's something that you're going to do over time. Right? You're not going to about to attend to your child's studies like 24/7, right? You know the difference. There are some things that you have to do over time, but and so you don't need to specifically do it now. Yeah, you do have to attend to it time and again, but don't have to attend it to it immediately. Now. Yeah. Then the last question is, are you able to deal with it? Is it something that you have the capacity, the ability to do it? There's a difference between capacity and ability. Okay. Yeah. So ability is that you have the means to do it. Capacity means currently do you have the what do you call that? Like let's say time to do it. Yeah. The energy to do it. Can you all see the difference? Like let's say you can cook. Okay. Maybe you can cook, but you're too busy to buy the food. You are too busy to cook, so you don't have the capacity to cook, but you have the ability to cook. Yeah, your 5-year-old child have the capacity to cook, but no ability to cook. Yeah, the 5-year-old very free, nothing to do. Okay, nowadays 5-year-old maybe very busy. Have a lot of enrichment class to attend. No. So in a way, this other approach that I just mentioned kind of satisfy yourself, give yourself a bit of satisfaction to attend to the things you feel is important. Yeah, but through the reflection, perhaps get you to see how to relate to it differently. That it is not that it's not important, but either it's not so important, you must deal with it now. Yeah. That means it's not a now thing, or it's important, you need to deal with it now, but you don't have the ability right now anyway. Oh, then once is more, in this way, you can be more convinced instead of just telling yourself not important, not important. Oh, we're not so stupid, not important, still keep thinking about it. Yeah, can try. Okay. Mayan asks, Shifu, can explain the difference mindfulness and meditation? That's a good question. This question seems quite straightforward, but actually it's not so straightforward. Strictly speaking, mindfulness is not simply meditation. Mindfulness includes meditative practices, yeah, but it extends throughout the day, or throughout the day. But we also hear mindfulness meditation, right? Yeah, mindfulness meditation. So when we talk about meditation, of course, this is an English word, meditation. Today, the way we use it usually means we sit down there and then we do something. Yeah. Whether we maintain mindfulness of the breath, yeah, or we develop the loving kindness, we develop compassion, we develop appreciative joy, we develop equanimity, yeah, different types, yeah. Or we maintain mindfulness of the different colors and so on and so forth. Yeah, so meditation, as I think I mentioned in another day, there can be two parts. Yeah, I think during the retreat, at the end of the retreat, I mentioned, yeah, there's samatha and vipassana. So the quietening of the mind is samatha. All the different techniques to help you quieten your mind, to still your mind. Yeah, you understand? To still them. STILLING. Oh. So the mind is very noisy, very chattery, a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas. Yeah. Now using samatha method, quieted. Yeah. So then there's a second part, which is the vipassana. Yeah. Vipassana is not limited to Theravada Buddhism. In all the different teachings, this is found. Yeah, all the different lineages. So vipassana is basically the deeper understanding, the deeper seeing, yeah, of our mind and body. Yeah, to understand, to see our mind body in a much deeper degree beyond our usual superficial seeing. Superficially, we look up. There are a lot of people attending, filling up the whole screen. Yeah, and yesterday, just as yesterday, we see a few of us. Just likewise today, we see the same person, and just as today we see, then likewise tomorrow. So when we see in this way, we form a wrong idea. There's a permanent, there are actual unchanging individuals that exist out there. Further, when we see a person out there, then we also wrongly see and think that this person out there is apart from my discrimination. Whatever I see is the real thing out there. We think that what is out there is existing by itself. Yeah. And then so we think that because of that, if I see good, it's truly good by itself. We see bad, we think it's truly bad by itself. So we form our likes, dislike, we form our grasping, our aversion, and all kinds of things. Yeah. So Vipassana cuts through all that. Yeah. Instead of seeing just the superficial facade, we see that while there's some semblance of yesterday and today, today is conditioned in part by yesterday, but not totally the same as yesterday. Yeah, even from moment to moment. Yeah. Likewise, today conditions tomorrow, yeah, or the next moment, next moment. Yeah, it just is a continuum, but it's not exactly the same. Not exactly the same. Yeah. And further, whatever you perceive is not independent of our perception. Yeah. Not independent of our discrimination. Yeah. Are there people attending the morning sit? Yes, there are. But what we perceive is not independent of our discrimination. Yeah. And that's why when we look up, the first time we attend, we see strangers. We attend a few more times, you see friends. Yeah. Then if your friend change your hairstyle, you for a moment you don't recognize, yeah, then you have a funny feeling. Why is that a funny feeling? Because we hold on to our idea of what that friend is. Then the friend changed, you say the friend changed. Yeah. Then we cannot reconcile that. Yeah. But if we see, then we see that whatever we perceive is dependent on conditions, among which our discrimination, yeah, is part of it. Yeah. And this entity that we experience, that we see, is dependently arising and not inherent by itself, not independently existing on its own. So whatever good we experience is not independently existing by itself. Whatever bad we experience is not independently existing by itself. And if we can see, this is just whatever you think you hear now is just an idea. Yeah. But if one day you observe and you see truly that that is the way it is, then it changes. Yeah, then we start to relate to others, to this world differently, because we see it differently now. Yeah, then not now. uh, uh, so because it's so in English we translate as insight. Oh, yeah. Because Chinese 现见 or 现观. 现观 is it's more the process, and then 现见 is the direct seeing already. Yeah. Then you see that there's no self, no independent permanent entity that exists by itself. So this is the wisdom part. Oh. So there's these two parts. So where does mindfulness come in? Mindfulness actually supports both. Oh. It's a precursor for both. Yeah. So with mindfulness, then concentration can develop. And further, it can support the development of wisdom. So mindfulness is not just done during meditation, it's done throughout the day. Yeah. Samatha meditation, usually done only during when you are more focused during sitting, or when you are doing walking, it can be a rough form of samatha also. Yeah. We usually don't say samatha when you're doing other things. Yeah. But you can develop mindfulness when you are doing other things. Yeah. Because samatha itself requires the mind to totally be quiet. When we say quiet, it's not just narrative. To move your hand, your mind has to have movement. Yeah. So if you develop samatha, you cannot move also. Yeah. Oh. Because the mind is completely quiet. Of course, there's different degrees of your samadhi also. And then in the Buddhist text, it says that the enlightened ones, the great bodhisattvas, the Buddhas, they can abide in samatha, in samadhi, yeah, and not just ordinary samadhi, but very deep samadhi, even while going around with daily activities. Yeah. 不出灭定而现诸位移. Yeah. That they can enter into the cessation samadhi. 灭尽定. But still, on the outer appearance, appear to be talking to people, doing. You don't ask me what that state is. It's too too profound, too beyond me already. At this point, I only know, okay, there is such a state. So, so we can roughly say this is the difference between mindfulness and meditation in a more detailed fashion. Okay.
Yes,
Any questions? A few days ago, I actually wanted to give you an exercise. I don't know. I think I didn't manage to give you an exercise because then I think Marcel asked a question. Then the next day it was the retreat. Then I couldn't ask the question also. Then yesterday I also have questions, so I didn't ask. I give you all the exercise. So the exercise is from Thursday. Yeah. Thursday evening, we had the 入菩萨行论 class, and I gave them an exercise, and I thought that exercise is quite interesting. So maybe you can try it out. So the exercise is we sometimes say, okay, practice the contemplate on no self. Yeah. So we can do that, but sometimes it's important to go and catch the thief. Yeah. To recognize the thief first before you catch the thief. Yeah. What do you mean by recognizing the thief? So one of the aspects of the ego thinking, yeah, the wrong view of a self is the self-cherishing expression. Yeah, self-cherishing. You don't understand what is self-cherishing? Yeah, means we cherish, 很珍惜啊，我们珍惜这个我，我们很爱惜这个我，很疼惜这个我。Yeah, we cherish this self. Yeah, whether in terms of this body, in terms of the idea of an I. Yeah, someone comment on what we did, well, we get upset. Think about it, what we did, that thing itself. Like for example, let's say you cook a bowl of laksa, okay, or chabi hoon, yeah, or you make sandwich, well, you cook something for your husband, for your wife, for your children, and then they look at it, ee, mommy, how come every day like that one? Yeah, how do y'all feel? How do y'all feel? Yeah, do y'all feel good? Probably don't feel good, right? But I think about it, whatever you cook, right? Like let's say you make a sandwich, is the sandwich you? The sandwich is not you, but clearly it's not you. Nobody would think sandwich is me, right? So why are we affected when someone comment on it? Here there are many angles. I'm going to skip the Yogacara side because Yogacara directly say whatever you said has no essence, no substance. 明言暗例的一切法是毕竟空的. Yeah, so that directly cut off. Like so, whether it's yours or not yours, none of your no effect. Yeah, whatever is said about the sandwich doesn't make the sandwich better or less. So 不争议存钱. Yeah, the words doesn't have any effect on things. Yeah, so that's Yogacara schools. Today not using Yogacara school contemplation. Today to not even trying to solve the problem, just to identify. Yeah, that the moment someone pass a comment and then we get upset, don't assume that there's self-cherishing also. Go and check whether there is self-cherishing and exactly what you are cherishing over. So this is identifying the thief. Why? Because this self-cherishing, the ego, is a thief. The thief that rob our purity of mind. Yeah, calmness of mind. It rob it away. Yeah, it take away, steal away. then steal our merits also. At first, we do a lot of good. Then because of self-cherishing, we get upset, then destroy our merits. Yeah, actually, merits cannot be destroyed. Truly speaking, merits, demerits, it can only sort of, you end up creating more demerit, so you don't get to experience your merit, so to speak. So go and catch. Yeah. Hey, Shifu, how come you don't ask us to go and overcome our self-cherishing nature? Anyway, 365 days, you all didn't, you didn't do it. Right? You all do it for the whole last year. Did you all do it? Normally, if Shifu will tell you, okay, every day, overcome your self-cherishing. You think you can do it? Cannot. Yeah. So anyway, since we seldom do it, so we don't do it. Don't bother doing it. Today, relax. Don't do. Just go and catch. Okay. If something happen, but today is still limited. Okay. Don't think that you're doing a great service to the whole world. Today is just limited. Just limited to when you feel hurt. Yeah. For those, some of you may say, oh, Sifu, this exercise I've done many times already. I'm very clear already. Then you go and catch yourself when you feel elated. Yeah. When someone says something, do something, and you feel good, you feel happy. Yeah. You make the same sandwich, and then someone say, wow, mommy, wow, your sandwich, wow, my favorite sandwich. Yeah. Oh, wow, ma, wow, look at the bee hoon then you see whether you feel good or not. Then you check. Sifu is not saying you have self-cherishing, okay? Maybe some of you actually it's level 8 bodhisattva. But you go and check. Okay? Behind the unhappiness, behind the happiness, what is behind that? Is there self-cherishing? And if there is, what exactly are you cherishing over? Okay, this exercise. Go and try. Oh. Have a quiet day ahead.
Thank you, Shifu.
Thank you, Shifu.
Bye-bye. Take care.